Hey guys, how's it going? Welcome to the first video. I'm the Flannel Chef. Today I'm going to show you how to make 2 ingredient bagels using nothing more than self-rising flour and Greek yogurt. Now for this recipe, you have to use Greek yogurt, otherwise it will not set up correctly. It doesn't matter if you buy store brand or make your own. I happen to have some homemade right here. And the other thing we're going to be using is self-rising flour. Now if you don't have any of that available, all you need to do is for every 1 cup of all-purpose flour, take a ½ teaspoon of salt and 1½ teaspoons of baking powder and mix that in and you'll be set. Now right now we're going to take the 1 3/4 cup of self-rising flour, we'll put it in the bowl. And then we're going to take the 1 cup of yogurt and put that into the bowl. Make sure you just take a spatula and get all that out of there. Now you can either do this one of 2 ways. You could use a dough hook, I guess, or you could do it the way I'm going to do it, which is by hand. Just a word of warning, this is extremely sticky until it gets incorporated, so just be prepared for it to stick to everything, including your hands. Okay, once it's somewhat incorporated with the spatula, you can go ahead and just turn this all out onto a clean work surface. And then just go in with your hands and just start working it. Like I said, this is probably one of the stickiest doughs I've ever worked with. So it's gonna take a while and it's gonna look like it's not forming at all. Just stay with it, give it a good 5 minutes, and eventually you will get dough. If it seems a little too sticky, feel free to just add a little more flour as you go. This recipe is gonna make about 4 bagels. Not about, exactly 4 bagels. If you want to cut it in half, if it's just you or just 2 of you, just cut the recipe in half. I used a ½ cup of yogurt with 3/4 cup self-rising flour yesterday and it worked fine. Okay, and as you can see, it's still a little sticky. I'm gonna have to add a little more flour, but we're getting to a dough now. All right, after about 5 minutes, should be a dough that's maybe a little sticky, but not too bad. You should be able to get it back into the dough like that. Now what we're gonna do is we're gonna take a little flour, kind of more of the self-rising flour. We're just gonna sprinkle it over, not that much at all. At this point, it's gonna be cut into 4 equal pieces. I personally prefer bench scraper, but if you don't have one, a knife will work just fine. Take that, cut it roughly the same again. All right, now you got your 4. You take one at a time. You're gonna work them a little bit. Now, one thing I should note is that because this is missing a lot of the stuff that goes into a bagel, while it looks exactly like a bagel, tastes like a bagel, it does not have the same texture. It's more of a biscuity texture. I personally don't mind that at all. One of the ways that I've found you can get it a little more chewy is to boil it for 30 to 45 seconds before you put it in the oven. But right now what we're going to do is we're going to roll these out until they're about 8 inches long. All right, so now that they are rolled out, we're going to take one at a time and we're just going to simply just form them into a bagel shape like that. Make sure you pinch the edges and bring it back into the center like that. This side is going to be a little smaller than the other one. That's okay. They'll cook up the same. And then, I don't know if you can see, but as this is going on, we have our oven, which is preheated to 400 degrees. We also have a pot of boiling water on the stove to boil these. Try to make them a little more like bagel texture. Like I said, these are going to come out more like biscuits, but especially in these times right now where a lot of the stuff for baked goods is hard to find, I think they're perfectly good for when you need your bagel kick. All right, so these are all set up now. I'm going to go bring them over to the pot. I'm going to boil them. And then we're going to throw them in the oven, 400 degrees for 25 to 30 minutes until they're golden brown. Okay, so now that our water is at a boil and our bagels are doughed out and shaped, we're going to drop them ever so gently into the boiling water, one at a time, for about 30 seconds to 45 seconds. 30 seconds will get you that biscuit-like texture that I was telling you about. 45 will get you more of a chewy. Just gonna take them out in time. And now that they're on the pan, we are going to take our one egg that we whisked. We're going to use either a brush or a spoon, and we are going to brush it on there. Now that they're parboiled, I'm just going to take this whisked egg, and then we're just going to, I'm going to use a spoon. You can use a brush if you want, but I'm just going to brush the sides on the top of it gently with the egg wash mixture. Now for this one, I'm just using one egg that's been scrambled. And we are just going to put these into the oven. It's 400 degrees. If you parboiled them, like in this video, like I showed you, you're going to want to do about 23 minutes. It should come out perfect. If you didn't parboil them, you can do them 25 to 30 minutes until they're golden brown. And when you knock on the bottom of them, they sound a bit hollow. One other thing I should point out is it's at this point that if you want to put any seasoning on top of them, everything seasonings, dried onion, dried garlic, salt, pepper, what have you, now would be the time to do it. Now, these are going to go into the oven like I said, and we'll see you when they're done. Alright guys, so it's been 23 minutes now. We are going to take these out of the oven, and they are looking beautiful. As you can see, beautiful golden brown, just like bagels on the outside. Beautiful, nice and soft. A little hollow on the bottom. I'm gonna let these cool. They're a little crispy on the top right now. As they cool to room temperature and sit a little bit, that'll change. I'll cut into one of them just to show you the inside. And this is what the inside's gonna look like. Pretty bagel-like, pretty nice, not too bad. They're not as chewy as like a New York bagel per se, but definitely for only 2 ingredients, and like I said, especially the time we're in now, the pinch run right now, pretty easy recipe. It takes no more than 35-40 minutes, and hope you guys learned something, and I'll see you in the next video. For Final Chef, that's really all I got. Have a great night, guys.